visionaries, a place for dreamers. Where you wanna be? Join in, connect with us. Join in, and you can see what's up. Join in, so connect with us. Join in. It goes A-Spire, EM-Spire, DreamSpire, books for authors is on fire. A-Spire, the magazine for you. We got art and entertainment, celebrity news. M-Spire for entrepreneurs and motivators. It's demonstrated, see how they made it. DreamSpire TV is where you wanna be. Extraordinary people doing extraordinary things.
Hi, welcome to DreamSpire TV. My name is Cheryl Mays, and I am your host for A-Spire magazine. And I'm so excited to come to you today because with us, we have author Omar Tyree. Omar Tyree is a New York Times and Essence magazine bestseller, an NAACP Image Award, Phyllis Wheatley Prize winner, and the originator of contemporary urban classic novels. He has published more than 16 books with nearly 2 million copies worldwide, and we get a chance to chat with him here on A-Spire. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this commercial. Welcome back. We are getting ready to be joined by Omar Tyree, author of Fly Girl and a newly released monologues. He is an author, a journalist, a poet, a songwriter, a screenwriter, and an entrepreneur. So welcome, Mr. Tyree.
Couldn't get it on my computer, but the phone worked.
It's this technology, right?
Yeah, these phones
How
are something
you?
else, man. I'm good. Busy as ever, but I'm good. Yeah.
You are busy. Oh my gosh. I didn't have, we would have been here till the end of the night to read your entire bios.
Yeah, you
So
know,
thank
you
you
got
for
like
joining
you got
us.
one of the old versions because you said 16 books. I got like 28, 30 books now, and 2 million copies. I'm over 3 million. You know, so yeah, that's the old. And so I got to figure out how people keep getting the old one versus the new stuff. You know, it's amazing.
It's your website.
That's on my website.
Yes,
I don't know
it's your
website.
website.
I got to get my dude to upgrade. I don't know what he was grabbing to put that on the website. You sure?
Well, you know what? Here we have it. So let's be corrected. You have more than 24 books, more than 3 million copies sold worldwide. So I am excited to be here to speak to you. So thank you so much for joining us on A-Spire magazine.
All right, now thanks for having me.
So now you have, my gosh, you have an amazing history, and you have monologues that just hit on, was it Friday?
Yeah, actually, we're still loading it up. You can go to my website at Omar Tyree Films, and then be loaded up. Amazon has this thing with closed caption TV where they want you to type up the entire screenplay. So I'm like, ain't that so it's going to take another 4 days. So we'll be up shortly. But yeah,
Okay.
the movie is ready to rock and roll. And so it's going to be coming out shortly. But the way movies are set up right now with the virus thing, nobody's getting movies on time anyway. So I don't feel bad.
Yeah. It has changed the landscape of how everybody does everything.
Yep.
So now tell us about Monologue. What is it about?
Monologues is 14 subjects, including domestic abuse, mental health, murder, white power, black beauty, genius, dance, fashion, wealth and money, mental health. I think I said that already. What else? Dance, inspiration. So you got 14 topics and 14 people who speak on these topics for 5 minutes. And then they act out what they're talking about. And then I put music under it that fits exactly the mood and the subject that they're talking about. And then we had 14 of them back to back to back, end up being a 90-minute movie. And so that's what I wanted to do to basically start my career as a director, because right now, they know me as a book writer, but I have to become a director so I can direct my own projects. Otherwise, they may never happen because everybody does their own projects now. That's the new way of social media. Everybody wants to do their own. And so if I give my screenplay to you and you have 5 of your own projects, my stuff will never see the light of day. And so if I don't learn how to direct myself, none of my projects will ever get done.
That is so instrumental now because you have come through the gamut of doing your own thing for everything that you've actually done.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
And so tell us also about, Monologues is going to be on Amazon Prime.
Right. It's also going to be on my website, Omar Tyree Films, and Hot Lava Entertainment. Because you always want to have an option, particularly black people in this era, we have to have options of our own. And so the option is you can go to my website and grab it from me directly,
And that's what you guys want to do. If you hear this, go to his website and grab it directly from his website.
Yeah. Omar Tyree Films or Hot Lava Entertainment, which is my company.
Hot Lava Entertainment. And we'll get that up onto the screen before we conclude.
Yeah.
So what else did you want to tell us about this? So I'm so excited because it's an opportunity for individuals that, especially in the time that we're in now, to be able to hear from individuals that are going through things.
Right.
And have actually come out on the other side, which is literally what we want to do. It's like, thank you for allowing me to go through this.
Right.
And being able to come out.
And what it is regular people. Right now, we caught up in this celebrity thing where, nothing's valid unless celebrities are saying it now. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's not where it's at. So even when you try to do films, first thing they ask is who's in it? And not what the film is about, how good is the film, who's in it? Like the who's in it is going to make everything. And so for me being a storyteller and a writer, the who's in it part jumps in front of me because I want to tell a good story no matter who's in it. You know what I mean? And so with that being the case, you want to create something where you can be the spotlight. You know what I mean? Where Tyler Perry, another example of that, where his name is in front of everything. He makes sure it's a Tyler Perry film. No matter who's in it, he's in charge.
Exactly.
And you have to do that now because if you don't, you won't get to tell your story. And so with this, I allow regular people to tell their stories about topics. I don't want them all saying the same thing. I would have never did that. And so they all have topics, and then they talk about that topic, and I'll make sure that their talks are on point. So I'm a writer, so they had to write it first, and I looked at it, and I tightened it up. There was only 3 of them that I didn't have to tighten them up at all, and that's inspiration, murder, fashion, because 2 of the guys were poets, and they know how to do 5 minutes with no problem. And then the fashion dude, he wrote 7 pages of stuff and didn't let me see it to the last minute. So I'm like, yo, dude, I'm not dealing with 7 pages. You just gonna go ahead and do your stuff, and we'll edit from there. And so the fashion dude got to do his unedited too. And then what I did was chopped it down. He had 9 minutes worth of stuff, and I had to chop down 4 minutes, But it was fun, man. And then the music, all the music is very captivating and fits the exact thing. Like murder, it sounds eerie like murder. You know, Genius sounds like a whole lot of mental stuff is going on. Domestic abuse sounds really soulful and sad. You know what I mean? So all the dance is popping and jumping. You know, so all the music fits exactly the content that they're talking about. And so it was a great selection of music, and the guys all do a great job. I coached them on how to speak in a way where it fits the tempo of the beat, and they all did a great job. So we can't wait to show it either, because then you can see Omar Tyree as the director and the filmmaker of 14 stories. You know what I mean? Before I start doing the regular movies, with the next movie, because now I'm going to keep doing it. I got to keep doing it. So I'm trying to hustle up money for the next movie right now.
That's amazing. That is truly, truly amazing. And you're also into music. So this music is also a part of who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm from Philadelphia, and I came up in the 70s. So a lot of people don't understand. Motown had the torch in the 60s. Philadelphia took it in the 70s. And there's two brothers, Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, Philadelphia International Records. Everybody was coming to Philly to record in the 70s because that's where it was at. You know, so I came up in that era. So we had our homegrown music, and Philadelphia music always had a soul to it. It said something, always. And so we've been raised on music that's hot and also says something. And so, yeah, definitely, I hear a lot of music now that doesn't do that. It's hot, but it don't say anything. So I want to bring that back, and we got a whole lot of room to bring that back with. And so, yeah, I'm definitely going to be involved with music, and I have to influence these younger kids to be involved with me, because I want to go ahead and put them on a lot of records too. And so, yeah, I'm going to be a part of that process. I want to be like Quincy Jones, the old head, to come back and deal with all these young boys in music. Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Listen, we are not finished with this conversation. We're going to go to a commercial break, so you guys stay with us, and we're going to come back because we are talking with Omar Tyree, the author, the screenwriter, the director, the musician, the lecturer, on and on and on. So you just come back because we're not done.
Thank you.
It says in the book of Revelations, bless he who reads and hears the words of prophecy and keeps those things that are written in mind, because the time is now of the essence, and the Almighty is set to come as the Alpha and the Omega. So what you now see, write it in a book or say it on a record and publish it to spread the wisdom to the people in the churches, synagogues, mosques, and ciphers of man, from Asia to Philadelphia, bringing the word to the young, the old, the righteous, and the secular. For he, the wise man, with the great hairs as white as snow, and a voice that moves water, will speak the truth in our time of great need, as he rolls the golden number of 7 with the heat and fire, expressing to the masses that he has now been awakened to advise you to write and speak the things that are now being seen around us, for all who have the ears to hear and eyes to see, and the doors of heaven will remain open for those who acknowledge it.
Yep.
About that was Revelation.
Right.
So now that's a part of the monologues also.
No, it's not. That's a brand new project. I got a project coming called The Last Summer, and Revelations is the first, where you talking about the end of the world. And some people are saying that this might be it now. It's a stream of events that just keep happening. And you got some people thinking it's going to go back. You know, we all hope that it will. But, you know, in the meantime, you know, that's what great artists do. You come up with stuff that fit the time. And so if this end up being it, Revelations will end up being my song, where I jumped in front of that. And it's a lot of other artists who are musicians who are not doing that right now. And so as an older statesman, I'm like, look, man, the part of art is grabbing exactly what's going on with your culture and creating something from that, not waiting around for something to pass over. You want to document every part of your existence. And so I have to do that now because these young people obviously are not doing it. They think it is business as usual, and they're waiting around for this thing to pass, and it may not pass. So I'm doing a whole album called The Last Summer, just in case this is it. I want to say all the things we need to say, get other people to say the things they need to say on a whole album. And it's going to be different feelings, different tones. Like this is spoken word. I'm going to have rap and soul on the album as well, But yeah, I started off with it because, again, I was trying to get people to get involved, and they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to jump on immediately. Then they got this budget thing. How much you paying? Anything. They want to know how much they're getting paid. And so that's the era that we living in now. So I have to do a lot of the stuff myself until I can afford some of these people. And some of them you can't afford. They want $80,000 for 3 minutes. I'm like, whoa, man, that's an advance. You're going to get that money back from the sales, right? But then if they say, well, maybe this record won't sell. Well, why am I giving you $80,000 if it won't sell? So don't tell on yourself like that, So yeah, it's rough, man, but I got to do it. Somebody has to do it. And so, yeah, Revelations is just the first of a whole album of very timely and serious properties that are going to be all incredible music because I got a great ear for it, including Revelations. That's great music.
I was talking with a poet, friend of mine, and one of the things that she said to me was, in times of distress, people look to their artists.
Yeah,
and that was so profound.
Yeah, but right now we're not, and I'm gonna tell you why. We got babies going to art now. We have not allowed our elders. Now it's like you get to a certain age, you're too old to do. I'm like, what? That don't make no sense at all. When soon as I get wise or a rapper gets wise enough, now you want to throw them away? That don't make no sense. Then let the babies who are still developing have all the airwaves. It's ridiculous. And we like the only culture that really allows that to the point that we do. So it's another trapping of being black that we got to identify and say, yo, dude, we can't have all young people on the radio. That's not going to happen. And that's why they haven't responded to what's going on yet. They don't know how to, So that's a good point you brought up.
That's interesting. You talked about teaching the younger kids on reading and writing. And so you have a project, isn't it? The Urban Literacy Project.
Right. Well, I started that because, with me being a guy, and I'm a straight, hardcore Philadelphian, but when I was writing books, they looked at me like, man, only girls write books or gay dudes. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Now you're saying like straight, hard, black, intelligent men can't write books? Like, it's like a girl thing. It's a feminine thing. I'm like, wow, black people, that's where we are? And so it was a lack of boys reading anything. Mothers don't make them read. Fathers don't make them read. So I said, yo, somebody has to get these boys reading. And so the Urban Literacy Project is really focused toward the boys. But of course, I'm going to deal with anybody who does like to read. But black boys and Hispanic boys in year 2020 are still at the lowest scale of readership because nobody pushes them to do it. And they walk around thinking it's feminine. And we got to stop that nonsense. And so, yeah, the Urban Literacy Project, I started in 2008, but I've been talking about the lack of readership since I started writing books in the early 90s. And it's always the thing. Guys always apologize to me. Oh, I haven't read your books, brother. I'm sorry. And I'm apologizing to me. If I apologize to you, you need to start reading. Don't apologize. Get reading. So it's sad, man, that we're in year 2020 and brothers will still tell you, put it on the record, put it in a movie, because I ain't got time to read. And then when they go to jail, all of a sudden, they got time to read. It's sad, man, But yeah, that's what the Urban Literacy Project is there to do.
I applaud that project because anything that you can do to inspire the youth, to get them to, elevate their thinking, to be able to elevate their actions, and to be able to have a mentor or someone that they see operating in that, how they say, lead by example.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you have so many kids that want to be the rappers, the
artists,
the actors, and all of that. But that's, they don't understand the work that goes involved in that.
Yeah. And it's work to read too, you know what I mean? So I get tired of brothers saying I heard instead of I read, you know what I mean? Because when you read, you have more of the facts, you know what I mean? And you're more analytical when you read as opposed to just re-quoting something that somebody else said that didn't get it right in the first place. And you talking about you heard that from someone, because we all know the grapevine gets worse and worse as it goes on, you know? But if you read, you get the source material. You know, so I tell brothers all the time, man, we need to stop saying I heard in the barbershop and start saying I read. You know, you can read on your daggone cell phone. You can look up anything that you used to have in the encyclopedias on your cell phone. And these brothers still hear something instead of reading something. So it's sad, man. And then they get mad at me for hitting them over the head with them. But I've been raised by grown men in West Philadelphia and in Mount Airy, and that's why I'm going to kick it like a grown man. So I'm not making no excuses for brothers who don't read. If it hurts, like Sister Sola says, you'll be in pain. If it drives you crazy, it'll be insane. But I'm going to say it because it is what it is, and we need to deal with it.
But you know, I hear your passion, and I am excited when a brother comes on and just expresses that it's okay for us to be able to move forward, but you got to have a plan.
Yeah.
And you got to be persistent. You know, it's like intentionally and deliberate.
Yeah, because they'll forget and they'll blow it off. Same thing with music. You know, you just played a song where my thing is I have to get that thing in rotation, because you can't play it one time and think. You got to understand how the system is set up. They will play that negative music 40 times a day, 100 times a day. And you play a positive song 2 times and talk about it for an hour and think that's going to change something. It doesn't work that way. You got to play them positive songs as many times as they play them negative songs. And that's what I'm working on. We got to have that. If the lip service ain't going to work, you got to put it in action. Put it on your daggone playlist and make it an introduction to the show. That's what we got to do to get our kids thinking the right way, to surround them with the positivity. Because if you only do it twice, they ain't going to hear that. Oh, I missed the show. Where did I get the song? They don't have to ask that for these songs on the radio. They got them songs all day long. You know, so we got to just get our system together on positivity and understand that repetition is what we need to have. We cannot be random as conscious people. We have to create a system of repetition with positivity instead of negativity. And if we don't have that repetition, you do one show and it's lost and forgotten.
You know, I am so excited that you're on here today. Guys, you hear Omar Tyree, author, entrepreneur, award winning for the NAACP, the Phyllis Whitley Awards. You are listening to the man that is expressing to you the importance of making sure that your business is tight and that you're still, you know, you are truly an entrepreneur as opposed to, you know, the other pieces that you could be, but you are truly being an entrepreneur. And so we are going to, we're going to come right back, because we're going to hear the rest of Mr. Omar Tyree and hear about the monologue that is going to be available. It's on his website at omartyree.com, as well as Amazon Prime. So after this video of our spotlight video of Jay Chanel, we will be back.
I think I'm in love. Think I'm in love. I think I'm in love. It's something special, I feel it. It's trembling, it's gifted. Am I the one to use this gift, even if it brings me fear? No pushing aside, no running away. Not a secret to hide. I'm here to stay. He's putting it down from town to town and all around. He's touching my body. I'm not gonna hide it. It's killing inside. I know it ain't right, but baby, I've been feeling this. Can't do secret shit. I don't want it, I don't need it. It's so conceited, heart is bleeding. Baby, what's up? I'm not gonna front, I'm falling in love. I'm loving your touch, I'm not gonna rush. I just feel so special. Love so detrimental. It's blind, you can't see it. Lord, can you read it? Something's coming over me. just can't get them off my mind. I'm thinking about them all the time. What's up, what's up, what's up with my heart? I should've never fucking loved him from the start. Even though I knew it was wrong, he had a wife at home. But
Omar Tyree, the New
Yep.
York Times Essence Magazine bestseller. And in case you missed the conversation, we were talking about the Literacy Project program and his new movie that is coming out, Monologues.
Yep.
And so we are so excited. I shared that I was going to be speaking to you today, and the first thing someone said was, "That's the author of Fly Girl." She's like, "I remember Fly Girl from way back." And so,
Yeah.
so she was so excited. She's probably on watching. So tell us more about Monologue. What else would you like for the audience to know so that they can tune in? Because it's available now. They can go to your website and see it tonight.
Right. It's not available yet, but it will be this week.
Okay.
But yeah, the website is Omar Tyree Films, but .com and Omar Tyree is going to go to films anyway. So we shifted all the traffic over there. Or you can go to Hot Lava Entertainment. But yeah, Monologues is just the first film of many. It was an inexpensive film. That's why I did this one first. A lot of people want me to do my books, including Fly Girl, but I don't have the money to do it yet. I don't have that type of, Fly Girl is a serious book as far as the content is concerned. You can't try to do that with a budget that doesn't suffice, because I'm going to be tortured for the rest of my life when you say this didn't have this and didn't have that. I already understand that. You can't do it. So I was not writing small books. I was writing big idea books. You need big idea money to execute those. And so I have to work myself into position to do it. And like I said earlier, if I don't do it, then you're going to have people changing up everything that don't understand the material and all that. And I don't want them messing my material up. So I have to put myself in position as a writer, producer, director, just like Tyler Perry did. So I will have the autonomy to make the correct decisions about the properties that I know better than anybody because I wrote them. And so Monologues is just the first in that process of earning my stripes as a writer, producer, director. And I will get more complicated as the money comes in and people get more, comfortable with me being a director now. And then Fly Girl, if we're lucky, we can get to it next summer possibly. So that's how we set up. I do 3 movies in the meantime, 3 to 5, and then we'll work ourselves in the position where the money people are like, you know what? He knows what he's doing right now. Let's go ahead and try him out for the bigger pieces. And so that's how we have to do it. And so Monologues is very important because this is what happens. If you're going to sit and wait and say, well, I'm going to wait for Fly Girl, there may never be a Fly Girl because they're going to watch every project I do to see how it works with the audience. And at the end of the day, they don't want to hear that you're waiting for Fly Girl. They want to see that you support what I do, period. And people talk about brands now. So the brand has to be Omar Tyree, not Fly Girl. Because if the brand is Fly Girl, we may never get a chance to do it because I haven't earned your respect yet as a filmmaker. Therefore, I have to take this person who has earned your respect, and they might mess it all up or may not want to do it. And so that's the reality of the situation. I have to earn my stripes with you as a filmmaker so we can move into the position to do the products that we all want to happen from our books.
So you guys heard it here. You have to support in order to get to see whatever else you want to see, because his brother is looking for your support and we need to support him. And, it's just a great opportunity. I have a show that I do on DreamSpire TV, and it's called The Author's Lounge. And it is literally for new and emerging authors where they actually get to come on. And so a lot of times they look at individuals like you and the level that you have achieved. And, other than the question of how, it's like, what advice would you have for those new emerging authors? Well,
I always start with the first 2 things. Writers write. And because I hear a lot of people saying, I always wanted to write. I think about writing a lot. I wish I could. I'm like, look, if you want to be a writer, then write. If you want to play basketball, you're not going to You get a basketball and go to the daggone gym, or you go to the playground and play. With writers, you have to write. And then the second thing, finish what you start. Because there's a lot of people that start stuff and they get stuck on page 38. And they're like, yeah, I started my book. I haven't went back to it yet. You got to finish it. And so to be a writer, you have to be anal about finishing what you start. And so even if you start with a small story, get used to finishing and then improving it. You finish it and you rewrite it, you revise it. That's what the process is. But you have to finish it. So I wouldn't advise you to start with a novel. I would advise you to start with a short story so you can get used to finishing something first.
And then kind of get that under your belt and you feel good because you can celebrate that.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can go back and make it better. Because sometimes people are like, oh, it's not making any sense. And they ball it up and throw it in the trash. I said, look, dude, you ain't going to never make no book. You balling up all the paper and throwing it in the trash. So I tell them all the time, look, keep that ugly stuff you wrote and keep adding to it. Then go back and fix it when you're done. But you got to finish. You can't keep balling it up. So I never ball my stuff up. It don't happen. Yeah, I don't care if it's ugly. I'm going to come back to it. So you come back to it. That's what revision is all about. So that's the key for new writers that don't understand that. You have to finish it. Then you can come back and retighten it up and all that kind of stuff. Have your friend look at it, but it has to get finished first.
There you go. And that's, everything seems impossible until it's done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's like, trying to get in the house that ain't finished. It might fall down on you. You might kill yourself in that house. You better finish that house before you do anything. You can't cook in the house. You can't take no shower in the house. You can't go to the bathroom in the house. You can't have friends in the house until you finish the foundation of that house, and it's going to stand up when you do those other things. Otherwise, y'all going to die in that house. So yeah, you got to finish what you start with the books. And short stories.
Thank you.
Short stories.
Thank you, because for a lot of new authors, that's the question is, how do I get to that next level?
Yeah. Well, they got to get to the first level first, and that's finishing a book.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
Keep it simple, Sam.
Yeah.
Well, Omar, thank you so much. Listen, you have an opportunity to check out monologues on OmarTyreeFilms.com.
Right.
Which will be available in a couple
by
of days.
Friday. Let's say by Friday. So Friday is what, the 25th?
Yes.
Yeah, Friday the 25th. That's movie night. It will be available at Omar Tyree Films and Hot Lava Entertainment. And then the week after that, it'll be ready for Amazon. You know what I mean? So the people that support me first, I'm going to give them some extra perks. I'll give them the whole soundtrack for free if they buy it from the film for me. The film's only $6, $5.95, and the soundtrack is $11.95. You get that for free, and every song is on point, very inspirational. Black Beauty and Inspiration are the two standouts in my opinion. All of them are good, but them two are the ones I'm going to push as singles in poetry radio. Black Beauty and Inspiration. But
there
all
you
of
go.
them are good.
I think I just heard an announcement. If you get the movie from his website, then
Right.
you will get the soundtrack for free. I like to make that clear.
Yep,
So you guys
that's it.
heard it here on DreamSpire TV. Go to OmarTyreeFilms.com, get the movie, and then you
Yep.
get the soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's a
And then the
no-brainer.
soundtrack, for people that like to ride to inspirational music or audio books, oh, dude, it trumps audio books because you got the music with it. And they reading perfectly because I had to go ahead and coach them on how to read in a certain pace and clarity to fit over the beat. And so they do a great job on that. And it trumps audio books because the music is slamming. You know, days to that, you got an audio book with music to it, and all the topics are on point.
Well, I know I'm going to get mine on Friday, so you might see
thank
me.
you.
Look, you
Thank
might
you.
see my name first. Just remember, it was Cheryl Mays. I'm going to
Oh,
get the
you
book
got it.
so I can get the soundtrack.
And then we'll do an interview every time I come out with something new.
There you go. You heard that here on DreamSpire TV too.
Yeah, that's the consistency. You got to have that consistency, man, because the brand people, they are doing it every time. Can you hear me now? 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 They do it. That branding is important, man. You have to do it over and over and over again. You got to be a broken record because people will miss what you're trying to say if you only say it once. You got to say it 1,000 times.
Repetition is what gets it done, right?
Yep. That's it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Listen, what else would you like for us to know? I'm just going to leave it up to you because I could ask you a million questions because I have this like 8-page bio here for you. So
Right. Well, you can follow all of my social media. I'm on Instagram at only one Omar Tyree. I'm on Twitter as Omar Tyree. I'm on Facebook as Omar Tyree. I'm on SoundCloud as Omar Tyree. I got YouTube videos. You can go to my websites, Omar Tyree Films or HotLavaEntertainment.com, and get to me in every way. And right now, I'm looking for young musicians, artists who have the skills, because I'm going to be putting out a lot of soundtrack records and a lot of young people. And so I really want to be that Quincy Jones who understands music on another level and gets these young people putting out more quality work. Because when you have a film, you got to have at least 15 songs for the soundtrack. And I'm going to control all my films, so I'm going to control all of my soundtracks. And every time I'm going to be putting young people on and soundtracks where you get to introduce a whole lot of new artists. And so I'm looking for young artists right now to join me on this last summer album that I'm putting together.
that's amazing. So if you are watching this and you know people that are artists or you are an artist yourself, look, throw your name in the hat now, today. So that when the time comes that you can say, I'm already in there. Oftentimes people wait too long and then they miss the opportunity and the boat sailed and you're looking at people waving.
I'm glad you brought that up, missing opportunities. I'm a journalist like you're doing right now. In journalism, when the hot story drops, you got to get it right now. You can't say, oh, what's the deadline? When I'm going to get it later on. You will miss that whole story. So as a journalist, I'm always right now. Other people, what's your deadline? I'm like, well, I'll get to it next month. Next month? What are you talking about? Next month, And so I get really hot, with these jokers. They're pushing the times back all the time. There's no urgency on anything. And I'm urgent all the time. And so that's a good point you bring up. You got to be ready to do it right now to be successful. You can't put success on hold because you never know when it's going to happen. And if you turn it down when it's ready to happen, you may not get another chance. So I was able to jump right in there as a book writer because I was ready. You got to be ready. It ain't no later on. You got to be right now. So that's another thing we got to tell these people, young people and old. Stop putting stuff off and do it now. We might be at the last summer for real, and you never get to do that bucket list you've been putting off and putting off and putting off. That's why I'm doing this record right now. I'm holding all this stuff back no more. I'm putting this stuff out, and I'm going to keep doing it now.
There you go. Well, you know what? I know there is so much more coming from you. You have gotten you got a fan now. I am truly an Omar Tyree fan.
Thank you.
And so I'm so excited to be able to have spent this time with you. DreamSpire TV audience, you have been listening to Omar Tyree, the author, the entrepreneur, the poet, the let me look at my list here. The legendary
songwriter, producer.
Exactly.
Activist,
New York Times
visionary,
bestseller,
hustler.
probably best neighbor on the block.
No, I ain't the best neighbor on the block. Because I'm still introvert. I still be in the house. Get Omar out the house.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your passion and this project that you are so passionate about. Please, let's support. Let's go to the website. Get the monologue so that you can get the soundtrack. Remember, you get it free if you get the monologue, the movie.
And you can listen to it every day going to work.
There you go. There you go. So thank you so much for joining us. Have a fabulous evening. And I will remember that you said the next time something happens major that I get the interview and you're going to be on DreamSpire TV.
Yeah, you got to get on it. Yeah.
Because I'm throwing my name in the hat now. I am your number one fan and the interviewer.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And you're going to interview me every time I come out with something. We're going to keep the repetition going.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a fabulous evening. Thank your family for letting you share this time with us. I know this is a little late, so we appreciate that. And then we are, guys, this is what we do on DreamSpire TV. We bring you amazing people, visionaries. We bring you individuals that will help you in business, in just getting your life where you need it to be, because that's what we do. And
Right
so
on.
we enjoy sharing this with you. So thank you so very, very much. Please remember that Authors Lounge is an opportunity for new and emerging authors to come and share your work, because you want to be able to share your work with audiences. And so that's something that we allow you to do here on DreamSpire TV. And I am so excited because we do have a couple of opportunities for you to connect with us on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. You can be part of our fan club, our group that's for authors and book readers. I just had an idea. It would be great to have you just come into the group and say hi to all the other authors that are new. They would love to see you. So
Yeah, we just got to get a date. Just get
There
a
you-
date and let's
okay.
make it happen.
All
No
right,
problem.
all right. I look for opportunities, and you won't have to worry about saying, I told her and I haven't heard from her, because you will hear from me.
All right, you got it. We got to get the date.
All right, we will do that. Thank you so
Yep.
much again. This is Cheryl Mays and Omar Tyree, and this is DreamSpire TV. I was going to say DreamSpire Books because that's the other show. So this is DreamSpire TV, and I am so excited to be able to have shared this opportunity with you guys. And please go to OmarTyreeFilms.com, get the movie, then you get the soundtrack. And if you
Yep.
are a musician, before we leave, I do want to make sure that you guys remember, if you are a musician, he is looking for musicians to kind of get the rest of your book, or to get the rest of the movie, the soundtrack.
Musicians will be featured on projects and
On
the
projects.
soundtrack. Yeah,
There you go.
Because right now it's very hard to deal with established artists because that budget thing is way in the way, and they want that money right now, up front. And if you ain't got $50,000 for one person on one song, you know what I mean? Then you got to find new people who can do the job, who want to be out there. So it can't be like somebody that's, you got to be hot. You know what I mean? So I got to get the numbers. It may take 50 people to get 5 hot ones, but I got to call out because you got to get people coming in. But you got to be hot. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of opportunities available for the soundtracks and the other music projects that I'll be producing.
Awesome. And he's looking for new people. So that's
Yeah,
what you want
always.
to hear. You want to
Always.
hear a
Actors
person
too.
looking for new people.
Yeah, actors too. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you
Yep.
so much again.
Thank
Have
you.
an amazing evening. Thank you for visiting us. And we are going to say goodnight to everyone. So, good night.
Thanks, God.
It says in the book of Revelations, bless he who reads and hears the words of prophecy and keeps those things that are written in mind, because the time is now of the essence, and the Almighty is set to come as the Alpha and the Omega. So what you now see, write it in a book or say it on a record and publish it to spread the wisdom to the people in the churches, synagogues, mosques, and ciphers of man, from Asia to Philadelphia, bringing the word to the young, the old, the righteous, and the secular. For he, the wise man, with the great hairs as white as snow, and a voice that moves water, will speak the truth in our time of great need, as he rolls the golden number of 7 with the heat and fire, expressing to the masses that he has now been awakened to advise you to write and speak the things that are now being seen around us, for all who have the ears to hear and eyes to see, and the doors of heaven will remain open for those who acknowledge it.